It's one of the smells.
Yeah, one of many.
Smells are just nature's way of communicating, man.
Just gonna let them leave.
Yeah.
So I don't have to walk with them.
All right. Did the two of you all do anything else while you're down here, or?
I'm just kind of rubbing my forehead. Like, I really don't think we need this.
I'm just looking around.
Yeah. You don't really see too much of real interest. For the most part, it was just large barrels of hay everywhere, boxes. There's nothing really that isn't already old and decrepit that you could pick up. So you all head back out into the main town.
I hang my scythe on my back, and I attach my lantern to my belt.
Right.
I make sure to stay at least 3 paces behind both of them.
I attempt to take a hit of my totem.
It's just a wooden totem and nothing is in it.
Oh yeah, I know.
So he motions for you all to follow him as he begins sort of walking out towards the edge of town. Right, so listen, I know this is a very odd situation for a couple of you, but I know at least one of you all was here to do some good. Honestly, I'm just trying to do what I can. I'm getting paid to be down here, and the more that are able to work on this, the better. And honestly, of the groups, I felt like, especially when I saw Mr. Oscar, the 3 of you all are talented enough. I think you all be able to actually turn this into something. And like I said, payment in any form of money and or other wares that I can. I happen to be quite a businessman back up in Ferox myself. So, yeah, if you, like I said, just get up into the hills.
Business? What kind of business?
I'm like a community organizer.
I don't see how that's much of a business.
You know, I get paid by Ferox to come and organize things and take care of problems on their land. Basically what I do.
Huh.
I look over to Lamina and I just go, I feel like this is a suicide mission.
I feel like we're fucked.
So he points up to the hill and says, so, right, just up the hill, there's a few paths. Probably go through a bit of greenery before you actually hit the cliffs. Further up north you go, you're eventually going to hit the Feroxian border wall. But for the most part, that's also another thing. I don't know if anybody's really manning that right now. That was a little tricky to get through. But yeah, just get up there, come back if you need anything, and good luck. He sends the 4 of you on your merry way. Do you all question or have anything else from Mr. Brahm the Bronze before you head off?
No, not really. I just kind of like hang my head and pull up my hood and say, well, let's go ahead and get started.
Meanwhile, in the mountains, specifically in a cave by the mountains, Tachanka and Duo, for the past couple of weeks now, you two have been working with a man by the name of Targ. He's a hunter. He has a few wolves. And for the past while, I'm sure Duo, you probably got into this because you heard money was involved. And Tachanka, what did you do to this man to become indebted to the point that you were willing to help in kidnapping?
He promised me so much ale, I could not pass it up. But then he's good with words.
He's good with words.
He messed up Tachanka's brain. He messed me up good, man.
So, Targ is sitting on the natural sort of rocky steps that lead up to the cave you all have been hiding out in for the past couple of weeks. For the past, like I said, several weeks, whenever sort of parties of people from Ogtown have been coming up the hill, You all have sort of created a small ambush. He has a duo rob them. TACHANKA beat the shit out of their carts and scare off the people, and a couple of them, at least seemingly some of the more important ones, Targ has kept inside of the cave, tied up, and eventually, he plans to return to Og and hold. He plans to not return to Og. He plans to return to Ferox, and you guys are going to hold these people up for ransom. You don't totally have to be cool with this, but unfortunately, one of you's greedy as fuck, and the other one is kind of greedy as fuck.
The other one just thinks he's doing good, according to Dard.
Yeah, according to Targ, you're doing a good job. TACHANKA. Oh, God. Are they running out of people down there? Nah. He sort of spits on the ground. TACHANKA, head on up to the bell tower and see if anybody's on the way. I haven't seen anybody for like the past 2 days.
Yes, sir.
So you would know the bell tower is south. Down the south road.
Then why do you say up?
Well, head up. Don't worry about it. When he looks to Duo. Yeah. How much money we got in there? You check it again. And he points to his sack. You all have kept all of your gold in that you've taken off people.
How much is supposed to be in?
How much do you think's in there, Duo?
Half as much as he thinks.
Half as much as he thinks.
Keep in mind who you've been robbing.
Mm-hmm. So, he probably thinks you guys are sitting on like a nice lump sum of, maybe 50 gold. When in actuality, Duo, in the bag, there is only about 20 gold. Have you snatched any of this for yourself?
Am I telling him?
Oh, no, you're telling me.
Oh, of course I have.
All right, good. So we'll say there should be about 35 gold in the sack. You're sitting on 15 of it at least for compensation. So you tell him 25, and
25.
How
are we going to split this 3 even ways?
Leave that to me. We'll figure it out. Once we get some more money, we'll figure it out. And he makes a little whistling noise, and out from the cave stroll these 2 big wolves. And he kind of brings them over to him, and he gives them a little scrap of meat, and points off to the eastern direction, and they go running off. He's basically sent them out there to patrol for a couple hours and come back. It looks grim right now, but don't worry, we're gonna hit the big time as soon as we get all these lump sum fat pockets up to Ferox. Oh boy, it's gonna be great. He takes a swig of his drink.
I hope so, because this isn't worth my time so far.
What? You talking back to me, boy? He grabs a crossbow and he points it back at you. Don't you be giving me no lip now.
Can I aim a pistol at him? Do I have my pistol?
You have your pistol. You can. That's how it's going to be.
I'm going to think about the money and just let this slide.
Good. As we all should. Meanwhile, TACHANKA, you have gone up to check on the bell tower. The bell is actually just not clean off it.
Dude, the tower.
Did TACHANKA do that?
Can he what?
King of the hill.
Yeah, so you walk on up the tower, and the first thing you see over the trees immediately is this group of 3, yelling their heads off dwarfs charging down the road and getting pretty damn close to where you all are camped out.
The Lost Vikings.
What do you do?
So, typical dwarf thing, I'm gonna slam my chest, like, get me hyped up a little. You know, like, pat my heart. And I'm gonna run straight at them.
Oh,
Full
goodness
speed.
gracious. So you...
Screaming.
You scream, and you cut through, instead of going back the path you came from, you just go barreling through the trees. And on to...
Wait. Quick question, too. How close is this bell tower to them? Like, I like to picture Tachanka's scream is pretty loud.
Oh, it's loud. And
So,
they hear
like,
it.
okay.
And it's a good sprint.
Yeah.
It's a good sprint away from where the tower is.
Okay.
So let me get these guys out.
These assholes.
Look at these assholes. And at that moment, you come busting through the wilderness, screaming your head off. You can move now. You come busting through the wilderness, screaming your head off. And at that moment, the dwarfs haven't seen you yet, but they can hear the trees and everything rustling around. They hear the screaming. And as soon as you burst from the brush, they turn to you. Ah! And they start screaming back. Who are you?
I'm Tachanka the Brave.
I'm Volkswagen the Brave. And he points to himself, and the two armored men yell, but it echoes in their helmets, and they immediately grab their heads like, oh god, my ears.
Tachanka does the little, like, slam the chest thing, sticks his fist in the air, little challenge dwarves like to do for strength. Like, saying, hey, your brave title's worse than my brave title. Let's do something about it.
You fucking what? And he immediately, he picks up his sword and his shield, and he is going to take a good swing at you. So, do you want to try to use your awareness, or do you want to try to use your stamina to deal with this?
Let's see. Let me see which one's better for, like, what I want to do.
Mm-hmm. By the way,
wait.
Duo and Targ, you totally heard Tachanka screaming his fucking head off.
So what are you able to tell me, like, what they're wearing? Like, is it heavy, medium, light?
Let me double check these two. Jesus Christ, man. The two armored guys are definitely in what seems to be some pretty heavy plate.
Pretty heavy. Okay.
But Mr. Volkswagen, the Brave, he doesn't seem to be packing much heat. He's just in some leather, kind of like you.
Okay.
Also, at that moment, Duo and Targ come around the corner, and the first thing you see is the yelling match, which then spawned into the other dwarf that's not Tachanka, you've never seen before, taking a swing at Tachanka. So, Tachanka, go ahead and make your roll.
Okay, I'm gonna look at my stats real quick. I'm gonna go with a stamina roll. See how I'm gonna, like, tank it. Gotta show off my strength immediately.
Alright, so roll me 2d6.
2d8.
2d8, excuse me. 2d8.
D8.
Alright, so check the little dice thing. You got, what, a 7 and a 3?
An advantage and then a single success.
Great. Let me roll. Oh, fuck.
Also, does my awareness thing get put into it at all? The
No,
attribute.
awareness only works when you're dodging.
That only
Sorry,
works if you're trying to
stamina.
dodge.
Stamina.